Hello, everybody. My name is Eldred, and I'd like to welcome you to the R&R podcast. I'm here as always with my very lovely companion here, our co-host, companion, strong wording. My very lovely co-host, Razgriz. How you doing, buddy? So for those of you,
I was acting like my headset was muted. So, no, I'm doing well. I'm for those of you who don't know or have not picked up on the subtle things, I work at a school district. I'm not going to specify what school district ever. But I'm currently on summer vacation. But starting tomorrow, I will be going back to work for summer school because your boy's broke. So, not thrilled about that. I was really looking forward to vacation, but I need the money.
do you at least get the 3 weeks off like my school district does? Since we both work at a school district?
I got a week off and then I start tomorrow. And then I don't have time off until my school district school ends July 18th.
So I think for me,
But
I did last
that
week.
that being said, I don't work Fridays. And then Monday through
Lucky.
Thursday it's 8 to 1.
Oh, lucky as well. I think there's also a difference because I work with Sped and you're Gin Pop. No,
I'm sped.
you're Sped too. That's weird then, because
Mm-hmm.
like mine, I was in summer school last week. I'm doing this week, and then I think I have next week, and then I get 3 weeks off,
So
and then I do a
each
few more weeks.
district would be each
Different.
district is different.
Yeah. I also get this Thursday off too, which is when I'm planning to do the next episode of the Nerdgasmic podcast. And speaking of which,
Good luck
everybody,
with that one.
you could catch the video versions of these on our YouTube channel. The R&R is on the Rune Eldred, and the Nerdgasmic podcast is on the NerdgazmicGoodfellas. There will be links for it down
Also,
in the comments or the
for those of
description
you
below.
watching or those of you watching or choosing to watch, if you see me suddenly dip my head below the camera, I am currently eating dinner.
What are you having for dinner?
I'm eating Jack in the Box.
Ooh, what'd you get? What's your favorite?
So I got the
Yeah. Sorry.
I'll answer your questions. So first, what I'm currently eating is an ultimate cheeseburger meal, but I take the mustard off because I don't like mustard. I'm eating boneless wings, buffalo boneless wings.
They got boneless wings now at Jack?
Yeah, yeah.
Did not know that.
And then I already finished off my fries, and then I have a large Coke.
Nice.
What I normally order is an ultimate cheeseburger meal with the Coke, and I take the mustard off because I hate mustard. The wings are a new addition, just because I wanted to spice it up a bit.
I typically get the late night munchie meal or midnight munchie meal, whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And I quit getting it and quit going to Jack in the Box because they got rid of the that chicken sandwich I like.
Yeah, they still have it. It's just not in the munchie meal.
It was better when it was in the munchie meal. I do know right now they have like the T-Pain munchie meal, and I kind of want to get it.
That's what Katy got.
What all came in it? I have no idea what's in it.
You know what? I have the app, so give me a second. By the way, if you go to a fast food place a lot, make sure you have the app.
It helps, especially when you're like me and around this
you
time
just
of the month.
You get rewarded. You just get rewarded a lot. So like right now, it hasn't counted the stuff I just bought, but like I can get like exclusive deals and. Where does she even find it at? She
well,
ordered
you
it on
look
the app too.
that
Under
up.
what's new? Oh, there it is. So she got the T-Pain munchie meal with chicken tater melt.
Oh, so it is in the midnight munchie.
No, it's not in the midnight munchie. It's a T-Pain munchie meal.
But it's
So
there.
limited time. So it comes with a chicken tater melt, a taco, a chocolate chip stuffed cookie, and then curly fries and whatever drink you want.
I'm about to throw myself further in the negative. That's what I want for dinner tonight.
That's only $13 plus tax, so
Not bad.
14, 15.
So that would only put me negative 30. I get 60 on Wednesday.
Oh, hey, you want to hear something interesting because it just popped in my head.
Yeah.
Um, do you do you guys remember? I
Oh.
say guys because I'm talking to you and the audience in case they ever watched. So for a while there, I had a GoFundMe for to purchase a computer to give you the money essentially to get you a computer or get me a computer and then the excess money would go to you. It turns out that was an illegal maneuver. According to the contract that I never got and never signed, I'm not allowed to do fundraising for personal gains. It's in the California Department of Education code.
Well.
So we did cancel it, but I thought that was interesting. Nobody donated anything because
Right.
nobody likes me.
Aw.
And also, I got a computer anyway. So what were you gonna say?
Oh no, my brain's scattered right now. I was
How are you
calculating.
doing?
I'm great. My brain's a little bit scattered. I've been feeling, I don't want to say depressed because I haven't been like depressed, but I've been in a weird funk since like the beginning of last week where I've just not really been in the mood to do anything. Like anything I enjoy or like, I just have no passion for. Today's been really the first day I've kind of broken out of that. I've spent all morning playing Gears of War Ultimate Edition because I found like because of the Gears of War Reloaded beta coming out, everybody has re-flooded into the servers for Ultimate Edition. And I've been able to play online, and I have well now 4 achievements left to get in the game. I had 6 as of this morning. I've gotten 2 of them down, which were hard to get achievements. And I am literally one multiplayer match away from re-upping and getting my 3rd achievement to make it where I just need to do a 2v2, which is going to be hard to get into because I have to win 22v2s, which I think I'm more than halfway through. I have to check the progress checker on that. And then I need to do a campaign mission and just chuck grenades into a hole and just pray that I kill 3 enemies per grenade. And then I gotta do that like 2 more times and I get the last achievement. And then I would have 100%ed one of my all-time favorite games. And that makes me very excited. Outside of that, I've been fishing in
Nice.
Fallout 76, which I got to admit, and you know how I am on like games that are just kind of simulator brain killers. I've sat there for like
Yeah.
2.5 hours straight just fishing in Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Are you petting a cat or are you touching your Death Stranding box?
It's the Death Stranding box.
I
I just saw
am
it pop up. It's
I
like
am
it's just sitting like
so
I'm not touching it because it's like way over here. But
I'm very happy
sorry,
you're able
I
to
moved my arm
actually.
and I saw it pop up there. I was like, oh
So did the pre-order of that come with everything that was supposed to be in there? Because it's not the Death Stranding 2 one, it's the Death Stranding 1. So
yes,
you should have gotten the BB in a pod lamp, and then there was like the actual shipping container. Yeah, you do got the container. God, I forgot how good that looks. That steelbook. Chris has my copy of it right now because he's playing the game for the first time.
so if anybody is currently playing Death Stranding and doesn't have any of the codes, I already own it, so I didn't actually need the game, but I wanted the steelbook. So I have these codes here. I don't know if anybody. Well, actually, I'm gonna keep the. No. Yeah, I already have them. I was gonna say I was gonna keep the album, but I would have already gotten it.
Yeah, because you have the director's cut.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful game. That is actually something that's been taking my mind off of everything and making me feel better. As I've been playing a
That's. I mean, it's what I've been.
shit ton.
It's been what I've been playing as of late.
I've been playing a shit ton of Death Stranding. I have 2 roads left to build in the Central America, and I can't find the fucking collector. And I have been walking in the snow for hours.
The
I need.
collector's not in the snow.
Then who? Oh no, it's the survivalist that gives me the 2 road pieces that I need to buy, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, dude, I could show you where he is on the map.
I
It's
know
just
you
a matter of
could.
you have to find the his missing cargo. But I told you where he was. If you just go up to the spiritualist when you're standing there, you have that mountain right in front of you.
Yeah.
If you just go up that mountain, he's like right there.
Oh, okay, that's gonna be easy to find then.
Yeah. That's why, because I was standing on top of the mountain. I was like, see, there's the spiritualist right there, and then I turned around and I said, and right here is where the first prepper is.
That's right, because the collector is in the mule territory, right?
Yeah, so he's just
Yeah.
south of the distribution center on the main road. He's
Mm-hmm.
kind of just south of that and like a little cave. And then there is, you keep calling it a prepper. There is a veteran guy who's not on the road. He's west of the Timefall. Sorry, go ahead.
All right. No, no, I'm just bobbing my head, like acknowledging.
But yeah, so at one point, I'm pretty sure that I had said on this podcast that I was not going to buy the Death Stranding 2 Collector Edition.
Quite literally the last episode, because we only have 2. This is our 3rd episode, so.
Yes. So here's what happened. We were celebrating my wife's birthday. We went into this game store, and now my wife knows that I had no plans to buy the collector edition. Anyway, we go into the game store because I'm just seeing what they got. You know, I haven't been to this game store before, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, they got some cool stuff. Nothing I'm like dying to see. I keep sending Tim or Rune pictures of things I'm finding. And as we're walking out, literally just about to leave the door, Katie goes, "Hey, isn't that the Death Stranding Collector's Edition?" And in the window, on they have the box, which still says sealed. And so we're looking at it, and I'm like, "Oh man." She says, "Well, you did say if you ever saw it again, you'd to get it." Like, yeah, I did say that because I was beating myself up about the fact that I sold the last one that I knew of to Tim. And so because I've never seen the collector edition exist other than the one time at GameStop, and then and
Oh
then I
yeah,
told you about it and you bought it.
yeah, that's right.
So I grabbed the box. Again, it says sealed. It's clear that it's still sealed. PlayStation tape doesn't exactly hold, so it does look like it was kind of opened, but we front and guy says, "Yeah," he says, "the dude bought it when it released, and it's just been sitting here this entire time." And finally, he says, literally, a few hours ago, we finally get in contact with the guy, and the guy's like, "Yeah, you know what? I don't have any plans to pick it up. You can go ahead and sell it." So I got it for a good deal. We get back to our hotel room, and Katie says, "So you gonna buy the Death Stranding 2 collector's edition?" I'm like, "Nah, no, no, I shouldn't do that." I'm like, "I don't even know where I would put it." She goes, "We do still have to put up a shelf in the office." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but like, I shouldn't do it." Then I'm starting rattling, and I'm like, I know I shouldn't do it. So I take 2 pieces of paper. I write, "Buy it on one, don't buy it on the other. I crumple them up, shuffle them in my hand. I then toss them onto the bed, and I tell my wife, grab those, shuffle them. I'm going to turn away just so that way again, it's purely chance. And then put one in each of your hands, and I'm going to just say left or right, and that's what I'm going to do. So that's what we did. And I got the buy it.
Well, I guess that's fate. That is fate.
That really is fate.
That's
like
that's
completely up to chance because Katy had no idea what was actually written on it. She was like, "It said buy it on the other one too, didn't?" I'm like, "No, it really did not. It really said don't buy it."
Just buy it. Buy it.
She opened up the other one. She goes, "Oh, it really said don't buy it." She goes, "I guess that's fate." I'm like, I guess it is. So it'll be here on the 24th, or by the 24th. It needs to be here.
Lucky. I don't know. I could get it. I know I could get it.
Well, Tim, I mean, I'm not just giving you the other code for free for the record. I'll add it to your tab, but for a discounted
Come on, man!
price.
I just started dwindling that down. I'm down to 170 left. Don't tax more to me.
I know. I'm just gonna I'll cut the price in half. I'll be nice. So instead of the 80, you only owe me 40 for it, which is a hell of a deal.
210's not bad. I could do 210. I could work with 210. Don't want to work with 210, but I can work with 210.
Oh, the reason why I'm selling him the code is I already bought Death Stranding 2. I bought it literally just before the trip.
It's funny how things work out that way.
Yeah. So now I got to figure out a place to put it. I mean, the lamp's cool. Again, not sure where I'm going to actually put it. Technically, I do have a giant flag. Sometimes when it glitches out, you can kind of see the flag right there. Kind of between my fingers.
A little bit. Yeah, kind of. It like fades in and out a little bit.
There's a flag up here. We can technically take the flag down and I can put gaming stuff on it. I don't know. Anyway, that was a big distraction. Let's talk about what we want to talk about.
So, in the last episode...
How's that hype, sir?
In the last episode, we talked about games that were announced at the Summer Game Fest 2025. Yes. One of which was a game published by IOI, which is another one of my favorite game studios because they make Hitman. Well, they just published a game called Mindseye that I was very excited about because, they went on to say it was going to be a GTA killer, and it has the dude from Mafia 3 who played Lincoln Clay as the main character. So it's nice seeing him in a leading role again, and it looked genuinely good because I like futuristic AI games. Let me tell you what. There's been nothing but issues beyond issues beyond issues beyond issues with the game. Mm-hmm. I don't personally own it yet, but I have seen enough stuff to kind of justify the fact that I'm going to hold off until some patches. It has a launch very similar to Cyberpunk 2077. And I remember how it was when I played Cyberpunk at launch and I got stuck in a cutscene because everybody was just T-posing and sliding around and the cutscene wouldn't load from that. So I am personally waiting for it to be kind of fixed out. I'm still excited. I am still fairly excited for it, but I don't think the hype is living up to it. And I'm even looking right now, the game has a 2.8 star rating out of 5 on the Xbox Store. Literally every single review I'm seeing right now is a 1 to 2 star. And it's saying the game's laggy, it's choppy, the resolution's bad, the game freezes up during the CPR mini games, which I thought was really cool from seeing in on TikTok and everything else I've seen of the game. The CPR stuff seems cool, and it seems like a nice little mini game. Genuinely like the mechanic for it. But $65 for a non-refundable game that is broken at launch. has me scared because it gives me literal flashbacks to games like Anthem and stuff like that I think we both dropped like the $80 on Anthem. No, you bought the regular? You're muted.
Okay. No, I did not buy the game.
Oh, that's right, because at that time we were file sharing.
We were file sharing at the time. So, you mentioned something interesting. You said it was a non-refundable game. What company?
PlayStation,
Hang on. What? Well, okay, fine. You just said it. PlayStation is notoriously hard to get a refund for, and they have verbally, publicly said you can get a refund for the game.
which the last time they did it was Cyberpunk, was the launch of Cyberpunk. Now, I'm not saying Mindseye is going to be dead in the water. I really hope not with how good IOI is and with 007 on the horizon.
They're
You
not the
would think,
developer; they're the publisher.
but you think they would step in and do something, at least send extra support or something.
Let the Rocket Boy or
Rocket
whatever
Boy, yeah. Let me look. I have it right here.
fly the Rocket Boy or something like that.
Build a Rocket Boy.
That's it. I mean, it's literally headed by one of the people who was the lead director of Grand Theft Auto. Which the fact that he was supposed to be leading the Grand Theft Auto killer is kind of funny.
It shows that maybe his ego was a little too big on that. But then again, we don't know the development cycle for the game. Because this was a game that just kind of randomly dropped. It wasn't something that was built upon. It literally just poof was there. So it could have been in development hell. It could have been rushed because the game does, for the most part, seem incomplete. I do think the deluxe edition upgrade sounds cool because it comes with a horde mode mission, and I am a sucker for games that have horde mode. And it does look like it was supposed to receive support with extra seasonal content. But it's
Right.
like they even stated like an open world was supposed to come later. And I feel like if you're going to have a GTA killer game, then at launch, you need to have the open world.
So we do know that at some point it's been in development for a few years. We got a trailer in March of 2023, a full teaser trailer about the game. It was teased during Gamescom of 2022. So it's been in development for at least 3 to 4 years, which I do understand that big games can take might take longer than that. But if you have a full teaser, what as they're implying, it kind of gives the impression that like the game had been in development for quite some time and already had like a good base underneath it. Of course, the same could be said about the fact that like how long has it been that Elder Scrolls 6 has been teased?
I think it got teased right around the time that 76 came out. So a few years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. Sorry for the cough.
But then again, like, yeah, Elder Scrolls is going to be a massive open world game. It's gonna take time, and Bethesda, especially with I like the game, but I've heard the things of Starfield where it wasn't really well received as a new IP. When you have games of a wide ambition, it should be time taken onto it. It's what has me like concerned about other games like Dawn of the or Blood of the Dawn Moon or whatever, the game that's made by the Witcher people. Witcher and Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, Katy was talking to me.
Oh, you're good. I'm trying to remember the name of the game because now it's gonna bug me. And I know it was announced, so is it on the list? Got it. So I will say this right now, going through the Xbox store, it is so beautiful to see Silent Hill F is one of the games coming soon.
Yeah.
Because I was
Yes.
really afraid. Like, I have a PS5, so I was gonna get it either way. but to know that it's on my preferred console is really nice.
So I'm gonna slightly sidetrack unless you want to talk more about Mindseye.
No, I'm good.
But based off of that statement, Xbox used to be my preferred console. Now, the things that Xbox had going for it, I'm used to the controller. I've been a part of Xbox for, oh God, 12, 13 years. I forget what it says on my profile. I've been a part of Xbox for a while. I personally am been feeling that PlayStation is better than Xbox a little bit. Now, PlayStation has been around a lot longer than Xbox, but God, sorry, I got something in my throat.
You're good. It's all that talking. Oh no. I might have to do a lot of editing because I did a good job in the last episode bleeping out like the 2 times I said the F word. And I've dropped it like 3 times in the beginning and then
Yeah, but anyway, I I've been playing on the PlayStation a lot more as of late. Yes.
okay, no, I'm thinking of a different game. Um the one where you're an AI, I can't remember the name of it. Talos Principle just put out a sequel and
Talos Principle 2, yeah.
I was thinking of it as the Turning Point. I think that's the name of the game.
Turing test?
The Turing Test, yes, that game. I thought they
Yeah.
made a sequel to that when I first saw the cover for the Turning Point or whatever I just said. Either which way, I'm gonna stop looking at all these.
It's just I've been playing on the PlayStation. Am I muted? Okay, there we go. I've been playing on the PlayStation a lot more as of late, and I just feel like the Series X, like powerful console, but the feeling that I get from it is it's more of an advertisement. While the PlayStation feels like from just sitting on the home screen and like going into the store and just the fact that the controller talks to me and like the base controllers have the resistance and the triggers. It just feels like it's more of a gaming console than the Xbox. Xbox feels like it's just trying to be everything a little bit. You got a smirk on your face. What are you thinking?
I'm gonna let you finish your point before I start talking.
I'm sure if somebody pulls up like our previous conversations, at some point I said I was more of an Xbox player.
Well, I mean,
It's just like the more that time has been going on, I just find myself like, that game looks good, but it's gonna look a heck of a lot better on the PlayStation.
mm,
Hell, Gears of War has been officially proven that it is actually a higher quality on the PlayStation than the Xbox.
so
Yes.
my viewpoint, I think the console wars is an ever changing influx, especially as we get older. Because, like, I grew up on PlayStation. Like, my entire life, my mom is a diehard PlayStation. My dad is a diehard Xbox. So, when I lived with mom my first 13 years of life, I did primarily PlayStation. She did buy me an Xbox. And then, like, I fell in love with Halo and everything. But I had the original Duke Xbox. Then when I lived with my dad, I had 360, fell in love with 360, became primarily a Xbox person all the way up until like out of high school when I got my first PS3,
Right.
then PS4, and then now I have the PS5. I like both consoles for different reasons. I think I personally, my viewpoint, like my flag in the ground, I think the console wars is stupid. I
No, absolutely.
think both companies could come together and make a universal console that is good. or just have an end to the exclusivity, or even just keep the exclusivity but not have the war aspect of it all. Because I find Xbox to be better for online play. And this is
Okay.
my viewpoint since a teenager. Xbox has always led in the multiplayer aspect. Yes, PS3 had free PSN. PS4 did away with that. But the Xbox games have always had more competitive games. PlayStation has always just had Call of Duty. Like when
Mm-hmm.
you think of multiplayer, like competitive games, it's usually Microsoft that leads that. Halo, Call of Duty, which was Universal, so I'm not gonna count that. But Gears of War, like esports, runs through primarily Microsoft games. I feel, at least from what I've consumed, because I mean there is League of Legends, Overwatch, etc., etc.,
PC,
etc., etc.
PC, PC.
But
Yes, I
also
understand what you're saying.
Microsoft.
Yes,
I
I
do
do understand what
think
you're saying.
PlayStation excels in single player experience, which is what you have shifted into because you do play primarily single player games. So I think your viewpoint of preferring PlayStation is extremely valid because they do offer better experiences that are tailored to you. The controller talks to you, it's more immersive to you, and everything
Well,
else.
yes, yes, I will say, um, to Xbox credit, and I do still love Xbox. I'm not saying like I'm not a fan of Xbox.
You're just gonna get an email from from the Bill Gates.
Unless it's like them saying, "Hey, we want to sponsor your guys' channel." That'd be great, by the way. Sponsor us.
I would
Um,
love that.
the thing I love that Xbox has is the Game Pass, because using Game Pass, one, I don't have to pay like the big bucks to get access to these uh like major games that are coming out day one. I can. I mean, there's nothing stopping me from actually dropping the money on them. But I'm also able to experience like indie titles that I probably would have never tried before. Outer Wilds was a Game Pass game that I had just randomly picked up. I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. Let me just download it for free, and I fell in love with the game.
I was gonna
And
say that's one of your all-time like most talked about games on
dude,
everything that we've done. It's like the
it
one
is
game
it
you
is a
talk about.
it's a simple concept, 15 or 22-minute cycle, but fell in love with the game, and I would have never found the game if it wasn't for the Game Pass. And then with all the games that they announced at Summer Game Fest kind of timeline, I think almost every single one of those is day one on Game Pass.
Yeah,
Except for I don't know about Call of Duty, but I mean they own I don't know.
Call of Duty is a day one Game Pass game.
So I mean Game Pass is fantastic, but
I think with Game Pass,
turn you
they
off.
made their subscription based thing more consumer friendly because it's
Yeah,
not tiered. Like to split apart real quick, the difference between Game Pass and the PlayStation Plus, why I like Game Pass better is it's not a tiered system. I do like the PlayStation Plus and what they offer because I think it's amazing that they go back to PlayStation 1 titles
right.
through their subscription thing, but you have to pay for a higher subscription base to access
Yes.
those games. And
Yes.
then it's a little bit crap that they're not downloadable. They have to be streamed. And if you have poor internet connection, then it's like you're paying a lot of money to use up your internet to stream a game that is like a big massive hit of nostalgia. I quite literally just downloaded Toy Story 2 but like the Buzz Lightyear game from Toy Story 2
Right. No, I know
because
what
I
you're talking
remembered that as a kid and was like, dude, I want to play this and see like how it hits for me. Now,
about. Right.
granted, with that being said, one thing I really do like is they have started making PS5 and PS4 ports of these older games. So like Sly Cooper 1, 2, and 3 is on it, Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Dexter. the original Resident Evil, I believe Dino Crisis, which Capcom fans are really happy about Dino Crisis being on that list because it is a game that like is very loved but has not gotten love. And it would be really great if they put Infamous on that list of things to where
Oh yeah, with the
it
port.
doesn't have to be
I was like,
streamed.
Infamous is on there.
Infamous
So
1 is on there,
there
but you have
there
to stream
is
it.
there is PlayStation 3 titles that you can download.
There is, yes. But Infamous is not one of those. And I feel like if I own the disc, then I should be able to pop it into my PS5 and play it from the disc. Granted, I do have a PS3 right here directly behind me because I do have the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection with all the games. And I bought a PS3 just for that and God of War to play
Yeah.
those original titles.
There is some PlayStation 2 titles which I know we've talked about before where they're not available on
Why?
the I don't know why. I would love for them to be backwards compatible.
I was thinking about this the other day and I was going to talk to you about it because I was looking through the PlayStation catalog and they do have God of War up there to be streamed. But you would think of all the PlayStation flagship titles, why is God of War, like at least the original, you don't even have to do Ascension or Chains of Olympus or Ghost of Sparta, but the original first two games, why are they not downloadable? Why do you have to stream them? Why do you got games like, yes, I get it, Jack and Dexter and Ratchet and Clank or Sly Cooper, but then you also got Dino Crisis, which is downloadable, but not God of War, not one of your main titles that draws people into PlayStation. I mean, one of the reasons why I got a PS5 and the PS4 was for the God of War titles that came out.
Yeah, that being said, I still have not played God of War. And
I haven't
I got Ragnarok with my console. When I had bought it, it came with Ragnarok, but I still have not actually played any any of the God of Wars.
I think when they took it out of hack and slash and they made it more narrative driven, it really kicked. I like Christopher Judge from Stargate. So, and I think he does a phenomenal Kratos and really, really cool side story to just tangent. I got to meet him and Sonny, who voiced Kratos and Atreus. Me
Hmm,
and my little brother Brian got to meet him. And for the purpose of the vidcast, I'll ask Brian to send me a picture of his PS5. I took him to Sacramento to meet them at a meet and greet, and he got his PlayStation signed by Christopher Judge and Sonny.
that's cool.
And then I also got to meet the voice actor for Leon and have like a full blown conversation from the Resident Evil 2 and 4 remake.
Yeah, so
And then we met Tom Kennedy too, who voices SpongeBob. It
so
was a
when we're
good
done
time.
with this topic, I now have a new topic to pivot to. But like there's titles on the PlayStation 2. Now, granted, they're not owned by Sony, but I would love to be able to just pop them into my PlayStation 5 and be able to play them. So why can't
Snapchat.
we?
Exactly. I feel like if we own, because you could do it with Xbox.
You get certain Xbox games, yeah. I think all of
If it's on
most of 360.
most of 360 games, if you have the disc version, you could pop it in and play it. As long as it's on the backwards compatible list, you could
Yeah,
do it. Which I also find crappy because they shut down the 360 store. And I don't know what happened to my physical flipping copy of Left 4 Dead 2.
you still have to bleep it for the record.
I do. My copy of Left 4 Dead 2 disappeared, and I was going to be playing that, and I had a whole thing planned with a bunch of people that I was super excited to play it with old coworkers, and then don't own it. And then I remember when we were file sharing, you bought it digitally. So I was like, oh yeah, I own Left 4 Dead 2 digitally. I could just do it that way. Nope.
Hey, if you want to buy it from GameStop, it is $39.99.
Yeah, I looked at it on Amazon. That was a sad choice because I think the first one that popped up for me from back then was $80. I haven't looked in the last couple of months because it's just time passed and I no longer need to look it up, but
Why? Why?
because one Valve discontinued. So the reason why you can't buy it digitally on Xbox anymore is Valve discontinued the license with
No.
with
I
Xbox.
get that. I'm looking at Amazon right now.
So the only way you could play left,
$100, dude.
yeah. Now that being said, I don't have it. Do I have it in here? I do have it in here. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me put that on top of the PlayStation 1. By the way, I got an actual PlayStation 1 for free the other day.
Oh, nice.
Yep, working condition too. I just need to fix the latch for the disc tray.
Yeah, we have a PS2 and we got a
So, this is
nice.
the collector's edition giant. Like, I'm gonna show you how thick this is. I flip. I fucking love the steelbook
Beep,
for
beep.
this.
Yeah.
I know my light's kind of blocking it out, but look how thick that is. I
It's
could put
pretty
a
thick.
sandwich in here. I could use this as a lunch pail.
Okay. Weird flex, but okay.
But it's so cool. I paid $100 for this like over a year ago. I'm not proud, but I'm proud. It also comes with a Gears of War 4 pen.
Nice.
Yeah, the person who was selling it on Amazon, it literally stated in their description that their son failed and dropped out of high school, so they're selling all of his Xbox stuff, and this was part of his collection. And I was like,
That's
yoink.
rough, dude.
I
That's
yoink
rough.
so unbelievably fast. But I love it. This is I love it because I owned before I went into foster care, I owned Gears of War 2 and 3 Steelbook.
Uh-huh.
But when I became homeless, my dad's side of the family, instead of selling all my things, they burnt it. The Gears of War 2 Steelbook, which I still have to
French?
this day, was the only thing that survived that fire. And it's because of my cousin grabbed it out because he recognized it and he grabbed it and saved it for me. So I still have that one Steelbook. But it's really cool to own something that was part of a collection that I was collecting from so long ago,
Right.
which was the missing piece. Which I'm gonna be 100% honest. I like my Amazon page. I am still looking for the collector's edition of Gears of War 3. I need to re-buy the steelbook for Gears of War 4. I have the steelbook for 5. Judgment didn't come out with one and neither did Tactics, but I also want to go through and re-buy the 360 Gears of War 3 console and the Xbox One Gears of War 5 console. Cuz I love Gears. If I were to say like one of my flagship games, like yours is the Outer Wilds, Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds is good. I don't know if I would say it's a flagship. I mean, it's fantastic, but it wouldn't be like a flagship, if I'm understanding what you're saying.
Ace Combat for you would be a flagship title. Like a
Okay.
game. Okay, let's define flagship title.
Yes.
Gears of War is a game that Mass Effect. Mass Effect is a flagship title for the both of us, where we go out of our way to collect stuff. Like we have the helmets, we have the steel books, we have the pops. We collect everything that we can for that title.
Yeah.
So Gears of War, I have shirts, hats, I have the pops, I have the steel books, I had the consoles, I have a controller, the comics, the novels, anything that comes out Gears of War related that I can buy, I have bought.
Okay. Okay. Death Stranding now.
Now, yeah.
Uh, and Ghost of Tsushima, the Ghost of series, because I have both. I have the original Ghost of Tsushima Collector Edition, and then I have the Ghost of Yotai's Collector Edition coming. And then Astrobot technically. every time that they've announced something, I've picked something up. You look distracted. Helldivers 2 as well. I have the controller and the
I
vinyl.
know. I don't know if I said it in that voice message that you sent in your morning streak, but I was like, that is a nice controller. But I was having
You
issues
did,
with.
yes.
Okay. I would say, God, I am just getting bombarded by text messages right now. So I would say my flagship, like sitting here at my desk right now, Gears of War is absolutely one. Resident Evil is the other because I have the whole novel series. I have the games, the movies, the statues, and then I have like the clothing stuff because I have two different Resident Evil hats, shirts, and then I also have socks that are both Gears of War and Resident Evil themed. Um,
Interesting.
Metal Gear, I would say, is another one of mine because I have two different statues of Solid Snake that are the same exact statue, but one is painted and the other one is a night vision. And then Hitman, because I legit have a Hitman suit. I have the Hitman briefcase under my bed. And then it's like I constantly shop on the IOI website for like little knickknacks and stuff that are Hitman themed.
Right.
And then obviously, as we stated, Mass Effect, Dragon Age. I'm just now
Fallout.
getting Fallout, yeah, because I have the Nuka Cola bottles up here. I have your and my bottle. I am already waiting for the other 13 sodas to go live on Jones because they announced, Bethesda and Jones Soda announced that they have other like 13 more sodas in the work, or up to 13, because there's as of right now, Quantum and Royale are the two confirmed. They are working on a OG Nuka Cola. I think there is orange. They're gonna do the ones from the game. So orange, grape,
Right.
the regular, Quantum, uh
Okay.
Victory.
I will say though, I I love it for the fact that like the Liberty ones that I have, and then technically Quantum. I don't know how I feel about dropping $35 on 4 drinks though.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that either, because like in the moment was super excited. Super excited. I was like, yeah. Gave one to Chris. I'm giving one to you. Keeping one for display, and then I tried one. The Nuka Cola Quantum was sour as fudge,
Mm-hmm.
but like as soon as I tried the one, and then everything else was just being handed out, it kind of hit me that I spent $40 to give it all away.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's kind of where consumer guilt hit me. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'll do it again. But I know for a fact I'll go through consumer guilt again. Because I know as soon as I buy another one bottle's for sure going to Chris. One of them's gonna be to try. One of them's gonna be for me. And then if you don't end up buying that collection piece, it'd probably go to you. Just because I know we're all consumers of Fallout. Even
Right.
though Matt was a little bit jealous that, because Matt's the one I play Fallout with all the time. Whenever I play 76, it's always with Matt. He was like, I didn't get one, and
Did you want one?
I'm so sorry. He's like, but the rubber ducky. He's like, you collect rubber duckies, and I got you the rubber ducky. And I was like, I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm gonna pivot. So you talked about meeting the voice actors,
Yeah,
meeting famous people. I find that meeting famous people is extremely freaking awkward.
it is in a way because
So the reason that I'm saying this, and for those of you listening, I strongly encourage you to check out this artist. Um, Last week, Katy and I we went to a concert in San Francisco for an artist named Carter Vale. Uh, you're probably familiar with him if you've been on TikTok. You'll see him pop up with like He's famous for the song Dirt Man, or he has a song about eating batteries.
I'm familiar with who he is. I saw from your guys'
Uh,
Snapchat. I was like, oh, he's from TikTok.
yeah, hilarious dude. This is the second time that we've met him. So the first time we met him before we went to the uh Young Gravy concert, and he was the opener. Now, I was only aware of him from one song that continued to pop up in my Spotify DJ, which was Aliens Ain't S. I'll censor myself.
Nice.
Um, so after the concert, when we were leaving, we decided, hey, you know what? We're gonna buy merch, and we got a mother effing cowboy, and then I got a Dirtman shirt. Well, Carter Vale was in the lobby of the venue because it was massive venue. Uh, Moses. Anyway, he was in the lobby taking pictures of people. So we got in line and we got a picture with him, and briefly got to talk to him. And I'm incredibly awkward. Okay, guys, like you might not get that fact, but I'm incredibly awkward. So when I went to talk to him, I apologized to him. The first interaction with him, I apologized. And I said, I'm so sorry that the only song of yours that I knew before this was Aliens Ain't, which made him laugh. And then Katy continued to give me crap for that. So, fast forward now to a week ago. So, that concert was in September. We were supposed to see Carter Vale in March, but he canceled his San Francisco and LA show and rescheduled them. So, we went. Uh, we were told after the concert by some of the other people there, they're like, hey, he's not going to be signing anything. Like, he's needing to get on a plane in like an hour, so he's not going to stick around. So we were a little bit sad by that. We decided to get something else signed by the other opening band, which their name is Slow Coast. Fantastic band as well. We had never actually listened to them before either. So this is the second time that we've gone to a concert and walked away like, hey, that band's really cool. Um, Carter Vale ended up coming out, so we waited in line to get the thing signed by him, and it was our turn. And Katy goes, "You probably don't remember us, but one, you ended up watching a video because Katy had posted a video asking for a specific song, asking for the only song of his that I had knew before." And then she says, "You probably don't remember the San Francisco trip, but at the, during the just after the concert when we were signing, my husband here had walked up to you and said the only song that he knew." And Carter laughed. I don't know if he actually remembered me or not. And then again, only interaction now. I said, "I promise I know more than the one song now," which made him laugh. But dude, I'm incredibly awkward. Okay, and this also goes back to when I met Tom Hanks. Meeting famous people is an awkward situation because what are you
There's
supposed to
that
do?
level of idolhood.
Like,
I
oh,
don't want to
you're
say
super famous.
godlike, but it's like the idolization of where they feel on a higher pedestal than you.
Yeah. So I don't feel like I should be talking to them. Now, and Tom Hanks Stan, I didn't actually realize it was Tom Hanks at the time. So I was a bit more relaxed talking to him until afterwards when I realized it was Tom Hanks and I completely screwed up a joke he was trying to say. Which
Yeah, but you also got to meet Dax Shepard and his
no,
wife.
no, no.
Oh no, you
I
didn't.
was supposed to be working that shift, but like an hour or two before, somebody switched shifts with me because she's like, "Oh, I want to spend more time with my child," and I was like, "Okay, yeah, that's fine." And then I found out afterwards that she was incredibly rude to uh, Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell because they weren't wanting to like take pictures with him, which I understand. If you're driving on I-5, you wouldn't want to take photos either.
No. Let's see. For me, I got to not like walk up and talk to, but was in a collective group of other children and got to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger at Julia's Fruit Stand back when he first became governor of California. I met the author to the Spiderwick Chronicles. Still have never read the books. Um, I have met uh not got to say hi to Markiplier during the You're Welcome tour, but during the You're Welcome tour, I had to use the bathroom and ended up pissing in a urinal next to Tyler.
Awkward.
So awkward moment. Then obviously I've met Christopher Judge, who again is the voice of Kratos, Sonny, who is the voice of Atreus, Tom Kennedy, who's the voice of SpongeBob. Don't remember the guy, Tom Kenny. Don't remember the name of the dude that voices Leon off the top of my head because Leon has had multiple voice actors.
Right.
But got to meet Leon, Ada, the guy who voiced Carlos, and then over onto another game, got to meet some of the people who voice characters from Apex Legends.
Yeah, I know that I've met more people. I'm not completely lame. I have met more famous people. I just don't know who they were beforehand and never really researched afterwards. But I went to a convention in Sacramento and I had met a bunch of voice actors for animes that I've never heard of and have never actually bothered to find out.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull it up on Facebook real quick because I think you would be one of the perfect people to go to for this. I want to take Brian because I went 2 years ago with Brian and it was kind of our thing. But I just gotta scroll through Facebook a little bit.
You're gonna ask me while recording the podcast? Dude, talk about putting the pressure on me.
I'm not gonna ask you, but I'm gonna like just tell you who's gonna be there and we'll talk about it later. But
Sure. After I tell you, I'm incredibly awkward around famous people. Go ahead.
If you were able to, please don't roll out of my lap, cat. You're gonna scratch the crud out of me. If you were to be able to meet, any famous person you could, he didn't even roll out of my lap. He just scratched me for the hell of it.
If I'm able to eat any famous person,
who would you want to meet?
Who would I want to meet?
Yeah.
See, that's a tough one because then I'm like, what would I even say to any of these people? You know?
That's.
I'll answer that question later. I'll have to think about it. Because you're probably wanting me to be like, oh, I'd love to meet Commander Shepard, one of the two voice actors. Or
Meek Miller, I think his name is.
Sorry, what was that?
Meek? No.
Meat? Is it like
Meek?
The food?
Meek. I'm trying to remember his name. It's been such a long time since I've heard his name.
Mark Meer?
Mark Meer. I was nowhere close.
Or Jennifer Hale.
Jennifer Hale would be very cool to meet just because she does do a lot of like really cool voices. Want to meet Billie Eilish's mom.
So you want to meet her mom, just be like, yo, I romanced you before. You want to romance now?
Romanced you before and was immediately murdered, but you know. Well, she also, like, Samara has probably one of the better voices of Mass Effect 2, if I'm being blatantly honest. Of, like, the female characters.
Okay. Troy Baker. I would love to meet Troy Baker.
Troy Baker was my number one spot for that. I would like to meet him, and then, just so I don't get his name wrong, because I would feel really horrible, because I've already just messed up Shepard's.
Or Nolan North.
Okay, so that's not who I was looking for. And I know you voiced this character.
Who's the character?
He's the guy that runs Critical Role.
Oh my god, I know who it is, and I know the name.
Matthew Mercer.
That's it. Yeah, it was like the second you put me on the spotlight, my brain's like empty.
See, there's Matthew Mercer, and then there's Paul Mercier, and that's why I was like,
Hmm.
they both voiced the Leon. But Nick Apostolides, don't know how to pronounce that last name, but he's the one that I went and met.
Gotcha.
But Laura Bailey, the voice actress for Ellie in The Last of Us, is going to be at SAC Anime, and I
That's cool.
think January.
That's cool.
Did I send it to Brian, and that's why I'm not finding it on Facebook? I just sent it to him.
I mean, I don't want to break up a family thing. If you guys, hang on one second. I'll be right back. What are you doing?
Like in general, because I was
It looked
just
like you're about to sneeze.
Oh, I was putting the Gears of War steelbook back with the other steelbooks back here, and then I was just screaming, "Ew,
So
ew, ew."
speaking of steelbooks, I know we were totally talking about someone else.
Ah!
The Halo 2 steelbook was at the store. Now, it was not in great condition. It was very clearly like bent a little bit, but they did have it for like $17.
Not bad.
I didn't care that much about it, so I didn't buy it. But anyway,
Let me know if you ever go there again.
I know at some point one of our coworkers is wanting to go there with us, so we'll see.
If it's ever near the end of the month or the beginning of the month, let me know, and then let me know what they got, and I would absolutely Venmo you money to get yeah. Especially if they have some of the finds that you found there last time.
So if you're talking about the pops, that was a totally different store.
No, I'm meaning the games.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think it was the limited edition collector box. $30. Sorry, I think I said 17, but it was 30. Anyway, we should probably wrap this up soon. Your cat looks like they want to murder you.
Yeah, just ever so slightly because I took him off of my lap because he kept in his sleep. I think he was having a nightmare, and no, not doing that. He was literally like,
Oh. Okay. Meeting famous people is awkward.
yeah. That being said, would love to meet Troy Baker to just talk about a lot of his roles and just his music and everything.
I gotta listen to his music more. I know that he was a musician or is a musician. Um, I just the more things I play, the more I'm like, he's in a lot of things.
My second pick outside of Matthew Mercer for just voice acting though would be Roger Craig Smith.
Why?
He's Well, one, he's Ezio Auditore. He's my favorite version of Chris Redfield. He's
Uh-huh.
Kyle Crane from Dying Light. And he's
Right.
been the iconic voice of Sonic the Hedgehog for many, many years.
Interesting. That's the face of murder right there.
It is.
Anyway. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this one up unless there's something else that Ryunn wants to talk about.
No, when you disappeared for that short minute, I was thinking of wrapping it up too.
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, which is a big heart because I'm a big guy, so I got a big heart. Sorry.
That
thank
was
you guys so
the
much.
cheesiest line ever, but it worked.
Thank you guys so much for listening. If you are watching, thank you for bearing with the fact that both me and Ryunn look like toes. I look
Me
like
a
a hairy
little bit.
toe.
I was
You
like,
look
me
like a
little
bald
bit.
toe.
I look like a toe that has like hair right before the, toenail.
Yes. Thank you guys. And if there's anything you want us to talk about, or you want to brag about meeting somebody famous, let us know in the comments. Let us know on social media. You can always find Ryunn at his social media pages, which should be
In the
linked
description.
in the
below.
description. If you're listening on a podcast and it does not have access to the social media pages for whatever reason, you can always find Ryunn at YouTube or Twitter at Ryunn Eldred, RYUNNELDRED.
I was like, come on, buddy. It's right there behind you, and it's right there next to me.
Well, no. So I was running into when I was spelling out Ryunn, I was like, wait, no, I'm spelling it wrong, aren't I? So it's like looking just beneath your left arm of seeing the UNN. I'm like, no, I got that right.
Also, let us know if you have any embarrassing or funny meeting famous people stories. Love to hear them.
Yeah. We are humans, guys. We are real people with real lives. And, we're embarrassing people and awkward. You can talk to us. If you do see us in the streets, let us know you recognize us. It'll make us feel better. If you see us at work, though, don't. Don't you dare. Don't you dare look at us.
All right, everybody. Toodaloo.